Melon, meloncollieflaurです。Hello everyone, I am meloncollieflaur. And you know what today is? It's Watermelon Wednesday! スイカ水曜日だよ。We made it to the... Oh. びっくりした。We made it to the middle of the week once again. Just a few more days until the weekend. So keep working hard. You'll get that well-deserved rest real soon. I believe in you. Let's work hard together, shall we? おはようございます。こんにちは。こんばんは。私はメロンコリフラワーです。今日の配信はスイカゲームだよ。So, well, let's check news first. Because I did have to update this game earlier today. I don't see anything different actually. Other than what happened for September, so it might have just been an update thing. Oh. Hold on, let me refresh that actually. Because it's not showing up, but... Hello Milo, con Melon, hope you're doing well today. Hopefully that's not broken. Okay. Let's see. Oh wait, this looks weird. Hold on. I've been pretty good. How about you? Give me 1 second. I forgot to do something. There we go. I was wondering why it looked so squished. Okay. But yeah, I've been pretty good. How about you? Cool. Been good. Been good too. I finally got Milo to Sapphire. Nice. How long did it take? Oh, strawberry. No. Why? Nanda melon. Okay. About a day, but mostly for Kelpie berries to grow? Oh, I see. So that's how you raise the beauty stat, yes? Good afternoon, Melon. Hello, Bob. Gone Melon. Hope you're doing well today. Yep, then just mix them. For the, Pokeblocks. Wow. Okay. Grapes. Early peach. Gotcha, gotcha. I see. Okay. Konbanwa, Melon. Ochimpo-san, konbanwa. O genki desu ka? O genki, Melon. Oh. Genki. 元気です。よかった、メロン。わあ、はい。メロンが名前を呼んでくれると元気になる。メロンが名前を呼んでくれると元気になる。The whole gang's almost here, and now we're just missing Spook to drop on by. That's true. But if I know Spook, Spook will drop by 10 minutes before I end. That's usually what happens. It's almost planned in a way, I feel like. The music is awesome. Nice. It really reminds me of early 2010s lo-fi stuff. It really does. This is a really nice little theme. I am already addicted to it, actually. It's really weird though, because like, even though it sounds very happy, it does kind of, to me, it does kind of feel a little sad-ish or melancholic, I guess. But like, I don't know. It's very nice. It's good feel. 名前ネーム呼んでくれると called メロンの名前はメロンです。メロンコリーフラワーですね。メロンかコリーと呼んでください。僕の名前を呼んでたくさんどういうこと、メロン？Okay. Great. You called my name many times. Ochimpo-san. でもなんで？どうしたんだの、メロン？元気になる。なるほど、メロン。Here we go again. What do you mean, Bob? おちんぽさんのちんぽさんのちんぽさんだよ。おちんぽさんのちんぽさんのちんぽさんだよ。ですよ。Nothing. Nothing は何？What do you mean nothing? What happened? What is happening? You're confusing me. What's going on? You two are in cahoots and I'm not understanding. Ojimposki. Hi, Ojimposki. Melonski. As if I see. Melonski. Yokatta. Arigato. I feel like there's a joke I'm not getting. Pero, chimpo ga daisuki. Hai. O chimpo ga daisuki desu ne. Oh. Ichigo. Haji. Okay, so now I'm nervous because I don't know what's going on. 1407. メロンかわいい。そうでしょ1407。Okay. Also, do we know when the SUIKA alternate game comes out? Or is it a mode? I'm not sure. There's actually no joke, just being silly. Oi, how am I supposed to know then? メロンの中に出していい？出していい？出して。メロンの中に出していい？ I've been slacking with my JP studies, however, not enough to miss the Warui Nihongo. Warui? Warui Nihongo wa doko? I'm pretty sure Ochimpo-san is Japanese native. Plus, I'm bad with Japanese myself. Unfortunately. I'm still learning. Thank you, shiteimasu. Okay. SUIKA Planet is set to come out this winter. Oh. Erai ne. Oh. Oh. Okay. Cherry, persimmon, pick up on Watashi wa hentai desu. Demo nande? Nande hentai desu ka? Yabai ne. It's heavy co-op based, so who knows? Maybe we could also join on Wednesday if you like to spice it up. I see. I can only assume that you guys have this game. So you're telling me that you're a pervert because you like me. Is that how that works? Interesting. Is that how that works, chat? If you like people a lot, does that make you a perverted? Does it make you a pervert? Oh. Oh. No, it depends to the extent, in my opinion. Naruhodo. Pervert means you have some unholy thoughts of them. But I'm only a fruit. I don't understand. Do I give off perverted tendencies that I'm not aware of? Melon to takusan hanashitai. Oh. You'd be surprised what people can be into, huh? I guess so. Everyone has their perks and stuff. Everyone likes things that they like, but I didn't realize that just because something or someone was cute, that it meant that it would turn them into a pervert, though. That's new to me. Huh. Melon 好きだよ。そうでしょ？あ。I mean, it's fun practice for me, considering I never really get a chance to really try to respond in Japanese, but my Japanese is really bad. It's hard for me to respond. たくさんのチンポって言って。Oh. えって。Well, anyways, Kai, do you celebrate any holidays? Gomen. Do I celebrate holidays? I guess I loosely celebrate Christmas. For the most part. 1332 1332 As far as Halloween goes, it's something that I admire from a distance, I guess. The jolly red men going down chimneys and eating cookies and milk. Ah, yes. The house invader who leaves gifts. But clearly I didn't say that out loud. Did I? Japan Christmas is be so chill, though, just getting KFC and relaxing at home. So, is that a thing? Is that how Japanese people associate with Christmas? Do they associate it with KFC? Or is that just a meme? And even if it is a meme, how is that so? Oh, you're talking about Delibird. Well, Delibird's a Pokemon. True. I am curious though about that, because I've heard that many times now about the association with Christmas in Japan and KFC. I guess that's one thing. People tend to know of like memes and stuff, but I don't think people actually like delve into it enough to actually understand, because I have no idea why. Japan doesn't normally celebrate Christmas, but some tourists who did celebrate it got KFC as a turkey replacement. and just got on. Oh, that makes more sense then. I would have never guessed that. But yeah, that's a good point because I guess usually people end up celebrating Christmas food-wise the same way that Americans celebrate Thanksgiving. I think. The dishes tend to be the same. I'm pretty sure. What's the thing called that the JP bring out during the cold? The heated up table where they eat pecans or oranges? I'm not sure exactly, but I know I've heard of like tatami mats, but I'm not sure if that's heated specifically. And I'm pretty sure futons are pretty common as well. It also makes me wonder if, because obviously we watch anime a lot and stuff, which means it's usually going to be based in the past more. So I wonder how many people actually use beds over futon in Japan of current year. Hang on, I'll be right back as I look this up. Sure. But I'm curious, yeah. I'd love to know. I've never traveled, for the most part. Huh. Oh. Cherry. Now that I think about it, it's like 4 a.m. in Japan right now. That's pretty late. I do remember learning about Irish Celtics were the ones to invent Halloween. Oh. Interesting. Omoshiroi melon. Kotatsu is apparently what they're called. Oh, kotatsu. Okay, kotatsu. Oh. Maybe I will be able to remember that. I hope so. So kotatsu are like the heated mats then. Okay. Turnips were carved instead, which were much difficult and eventually replaced with the pumpkins. Oh, I would have never guessed that they started with turnips. They are smaller though. No, it's like a table with a heater below and it has blankets coming out the side. Oh, it's the table. Okay. Okay. Melon. I see. Melon. Are there any other languages you guys are learning at the moment? Like Spanish, French, Russian, German, or anything like that? Language learning is pretty fun. The downside for me is that I don't speak it well. I think I do more on the like reading side, learning reading side. Just Irish. But aren't you Irish, Milo? Or are you? I don't remember now. Well, I'm fluent in Spanish since I'm of Latin American descent. Ah, okay. Well, I've met some people who... I learned this recently. Apparently there's a term used called no sabo, which is basically like, I guess someone with Spanish descent who doesn't know Spanish or doesn't know it well or didn't learn it or something like that. I don't know if it's good or bad though. You're laughing, so I'll assume it's bad. And for that, I apologize. We mostly speak English. Oh. Yeah, the people who are like, eso no es my fault. Oh, I see. Eso no es my fault. Well, yeah, that's the thing, though. It's not really anyone's fault. You speak the language that is most spoken around you. That's how that works, no? To shame someone for that is just wrong, actually. That's something you can't help. And even when everyone speaks the same language, people will then pick on an accent that you have. If it's too thick or if it's too different, because depending on what country you live in, each place gets their own dialect as well. 1841. 1841. It's used for people who were raised in Spanish households but refuse to learn the language. Oh, it's for those who refuse to learn. It's not that they just weren't taught it. I didn't know that. I would have never guessed that. I've had some friends who are like half Asian, half American. And apparently like their mom wouldn't teach them Japanese for some reason. Neither they nor I know why. Very interesting. But yeah, I find learning language to be very fun. And it can definitely be quite useful. In fact, one of my friends recently was trying to communicate with someone in a different language. And it helped both of them reach out to each other since they were learning the opposite languages and stuff. And I guess it kind of broke the ice a little bit, because apparently if two people struggle in a similar way, then they end up bonding over that as well, funnily enough. And so they ended up talking more because of it, or trying to anyway. It also motivated them to learn the language more as well, because that's what language is. It's all about communication, right? Melon, do you only know English and JP? Well, I only know English. I'm learning JP. Like I can recognize some symbols, but I've never taken like a test or anything like JLPT or anything like that. Which also apparently doesn't determine whether or not you're fluent, because if you can't hold a conversation in Japan, then it doesn't really matter if you can defend them in the court of law, I guess. And I say that by means of like JLPT1 in 1, since that's supposed to be like the most fluent that even most Japanese natives don't know. I wish I could pronounce that. Fleur Milbachane, Irish for your name. I definitely want to learn more languages that have a lot of accented vowels and whatnot, because the English language, I think that's what makes the English language so difficult. You never really know how certain vowels are pronounced. You just memorize it for the most part. I used to be semi-fluent in French, but lost all my skills due to lack of practice. And that's the thing too, where I grew up, and where most of my friends grew up, you had a choice between learning French or Spanish. And Spanish was more prevalent. I never met anyone who really spoke French. But people did take it for classes. Unless people planned on moving to France or going to like Quebec, which are two totally different French as well. I just thought it was very interesting that those are the choices to learn. And nothing else, mind you. The Spanish they teach here is Spaniard Spanish. Meanwhile, Latin American Spanish is used more here. So if you're of Latin American descent, without revealing where you live, is Spaniard Spanish, you mean like Spanish of Spain? Because then again, that's the thing. I've talked to so many different people, and I never really knew what Spanish was considered to be like standardized Spanish. Unless that's something that doesn't exist, since there's over 20 countries that speak different Spanish, like, I guess dialects maybe? It's something I never really understood, but it definitely intrigues me a lot. Well. Strawberry, cherry, grape, strawberry. Yes, Spain Spanish, they say bolígrafo en biblioteca. Meanwhile, we say lapicero in librería. Okay, because I remember learning bolígrafo en biblioteca. Librería does make more sense though. Lapicero is very interesting. Because lapis is pencil, right? So, and bolígrafo is pen, so I guess lapicero is pen. Very interesting. Yeah, I don't understand, because like where I'm from, they teach Spaniard Spanish, which is probably the least spoken Spanish. If anything, I think there's more closer to like Mexican Spanish where I live. But I have a friend who speaks Puerto Rican Spanish, so that's also different. So I have no idea what's going on. It's very confusing. How does that work? But with the same thing too, Bob, it's kind of like whenever you're learning Japanese through a textbook, it's not how Japanese people actually speak. But apparently it's easier to teach it that way. I guess it would be closer to Tokyo dialect though, since it's closer to like, what's it called? What is it called actually? Like standard or something? Kali, do you live in a flower pot? Or Kali, do you live in a flower pot? You're right. I do live in a flower pot. Flower pot, yes. But where is the real question? Either way, though, you know. Sometimes I leave the pot. I'm not on the pot now, am I? Why? Doxing the plant. No, it's not doxing. I've already said, you know, like where I'm from, they teach it this way and that way. It's, I mean, it's probably not too difficult to learn. Home Depot. Imagine. Meloncollieflaur, the plant who lives in Home Depot. Wow. That's scary. Wait, why Home Depot specifically though? That's interesting. I'm surprised you didn't say IKEA. In fact, I don't know why IKEA, but I'm still surprised you didn't say IKEA. Or some florist spot. But here we are, I guess. Hello, Maria. Mal. Welcome, nice to see you. Come, Melon. I hope you're doing well. How are you? Oh. Oh. Too many pineapples. Home Depot over here is called Woody's. The latter is more well known. Woody's does make sense. I can understand that. This is why I like language learning so much. The regional differences and stuff is very, very fun to learn. Are very fun to learn. Language arts was definitely my passion in school, though. I really loved learning like grammar and mechanics and stuff. I don't know why though. It's not like it really helps in people having conversations, but it was just something I was really into for some reason. Maybe that's another Melon. Maybe that's another reason why I latch on to liking learning languages, I suppose. Can we get quadruple pineapple? I'm a bit sick at the moment. Watching the stream helps. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. I'm glad that my stream is helping you, but I am sad that you are sick. I hope it's nothing too serious. Be sure to take care of yourself, because there's only one of you, you know? Always be mindful, and I know there's season change, so always be careful about that. We're just talking about, I guess, language for the most part. But yeah, language is really fun. Everybody's unique like snowflakes, that's true. No one is the same. Not a single soul. Not even twins. Hope you feel better, Maria. Fingers crossed for a speedy recovery. Exactly. Languages are fun. I just wish they were a lot easier to learn in such a shorter, like, time. And yes, we all know that there are so many videos all over YouTube that says you can learn this language fast. Learn this language within 3 months or 3 weeks. And it's like, clearly that's not true. However, what is it that you're teaching that makes you believe so is the real question. Obviously, the best way to learn is to make sure that it's not boring. Because if it's boring to you, then you're not going to want to learn. But if it's super engaging and it keeps you like hooked, kind of like your favorite video game, then I guess it wouldn't be too grueling on you and you would learn things a lot quicker and better. Sometimes I like to play video games in Japanese. Sometimes it helps. But if it's only in hiragana, then I'm not gonna get a lot of context. Because I have issues with getting the rhythm of reading sometimes. Because reading Japanese can be... It's confusing when there are no stops, because they don't always just put commas in places. Sometimes it's just a whole sentence before like the full stop. So you have to learn where the pauses are, and usually they're based on, I think, the particles. Just get the green owl to teach you. The green owl does help a little, even if there has been the controversy as of late. Believe it or not, it still does help, just not as much as it used to. It's always great to use at least 3 or 4 different sources when learning language. Duolingo is definitely a start. And there are other apps as well. But obviously, videos on the internet help too. From videos that teach you words and stuff or phrases to just listening to native speakers from streams themselves. I learned a lot of English by reading fan fiction, which was a lot of fun. Karaoke helps too. Singing does help as well. That's right. It's very interesting to learn. I always like hearing about how people learn English, since it's usually their secondary or not their primary. A lot of people say they either learn from reading well, actually I never heard about the reading fan fiction bit, but they say that they learn from like watching American or playing games like Call of Duty, I guess, for some reason. Well, I mean, to be fair, if it's going off of like US American, then obviously guns are a thing and people like playing shooters, so you're going to hear a lot of like co-op terms and stuff. So I guess that helps there. I'm just not sure how it works for other languages. Learning English from Call of Duty on 360 is wild. Okay, well that's a little different. However, you'll definitely learn something from that. My source is that I made it up. Aw. Lol. I learned a lot from playing Dragon Quest and JP. Which one, Bob? That one will definitely teach you, because heck, Dragon Quest in English teaches you. Dragon Quest in English reminds me of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. Learning about like how they're in Mystery Dungeon, there are like a lot of items that you pick up and they're slightly spelled wrong that can catch you off guard if you're not paying attention. And I think Dragon Quest is like that too, in a way. Dragon Quest 11, 110 to 140 hours of the gameplay. I see. So that's helped you with reading then, yes? I would assume. I definitely need to watch more anime. I've been recommended watching Doraemon. I may need to do that. Just because someone is an adult doesn't mean that they shouldn't start at ground level when it comes to language learning. You're not going to learn nuclear physics in a secondary language. That's just not going to happen. It's helped with listening to the Japanese and connecting the dots to the English. Right, okay. Yeah. I know that, Paper Mario 1000 Year Door is an excellent game to learn Japanese from as well. Especially since it has, furigana as well. And then once you get the puns and stuff, it's very, very nice. I remember the VTuber Korone playing Super Mario Brothers and would end stream if she spoke Japanese since she was trying to speak English the whole stream. Yeah, that is a famous video and famous clip as well. That one's very entertaining. Korone is very funny. Very entertaining. Long-winded streamer. Will stream for long hours. She's definitely built different. Some things are lost in translation though, like someone changes from saying Aniki to Oni-chan because she was in despair, but it didn't convey the same emotion in English. Yeah, because Aniki, isn't Aniki closer to like bro in the sense of like one of the boys type sense, and then Oni-chan is more like, well, it's big, it's older brother, but it's like, I guess, I'm not entirely sure actually how that works. I think the first time I learned about how the Aniki thing worked was in, funnily enough, I think it was like Fire Emblem or something. It was either Fire Emblem Binding Blade or it was Shadows of Valentia. I don't remember. But yeah, the context is going to be different. Obviously. I don't know how you would convey that. I guess, but yeah, I guess because Aniki's more like, bro, like, hey bro, you know, how's it going, bro? In that sense, usually in English you don't really say big bro. But Oni-chan or Oni-san would be closer to like big bro or big brother or something like that in a different connotation. It's not the same as like how in Japanese you would say like Oba-san, Oji-san. And while it can mean grandmother or grandfather, sometimes it's just used for like old man, old woman as well. Which doesn't always convey the same in English either. Which I think there was an interesting mix-up with that in Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn? Or Path of Radiance as well? I'm not sure. I know a little too much about Fire Emblem. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Senyon go Juichi. Yeah, we don't have those respect honorifics in English. We have something, but it's not the same, yeah. Yeah, Japan has like loads of levels of politeness and impoliteness. And I learned that being too polite to someone can also come off as being cold to someone because it means you're not as personal to them. It's like the friendship is strictly business or something. You do know why. Your owner is big on that if I recall. You're right. I'm sorry. That's true. My owner is really big on Fire Emblem. Yes, that is true. You remembered. Fire Emblem School. Yeah. But we still have honorifics and stuff. Like, even sometimes, like, at least a long time ago, in professional, or at least, I'd say maybe in, I guess, church or something maybe, or at weddings and stuff, you would still have, like, master and miss, or, like, young men and young women and stuff like that. Or how you'd refer to them. I guess a good example of that is if you've ever watched the cartoon Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. And if you remember the butler, he refers to everyone with honorifics. For the most part. Master Blue Regard. Exactly. Master of Ceremonies. Wild. Yeah. So it's there. It's not as prominent in English. At least nowadays anyway. Now everyone just calls everybody Skibidi and people go insane. But... And everything is like... peak and absolute cinema and stuff. But, you know. I'm more of an old school... Melon, I guess. Old grown, I suppose. Not entirely sure. meloncollieflaur. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. That's weird. Wow. That's funny. It is at least comedic. I can at least admit that. But yeah. It is how that works though. That's why language is funny sometimes. I don't even know how that started. I don't even understand how that started. I just know that it went rampant. And then people started calling millennials boomers. And it's like, millennials aren't boomers though. And so it got really weird. So like when people go, are you a boomer? It's like, well, no, because boomers mean that they were born in like the 60s. Cool Gamer 122, hello. Come Melon, hope you're doing well today as well. Hopefully you are having a great day. I'm having a fine day. We're just discussing like languages and stuff. And people think your 20s, think your 20s are ancient. Yeah. Or like if you're in your 30s or something like that. Like for example, apparently that's another thing too. The same people who say things like skibbity riz are the same people who think that getting with someone in their 30s is hag maxing. It's very confusing. I'm a fossil then. My owner's been called a fossil before. Funnily enough. But it doesn't make them old. That's not how that works. Besides, you respect your elders and you mind them. That's how it's supposed to work. Especially if they're not doing anything wrong. Because it's very easy for, like, older people to be more, like, mean towards people. So if they're really sweet, you should honor that. Because it's not as common as you think it is. But yeah, I'm doing pretty well today. Today's really fun. Speaking of dinos, what's everyone's favorite dino? Do I have a favorite dino? Just gotta go to the fossil guy in Rustboro. Oh, the fossil guy is in Rustboro, isn't he? Do I have a favorite dino? I guess Triceratops is cool. I never really thought about it. I was never really into dinosaurs now that I think about it. But that doesn't mean I haven't watched The Land Before Time 1 through 87, right? Mine is the Pachycephalosaurus, the headbutt dino that Cranidos is based off of. Oh, I see. Understandable. I do like the crown head, yeah, the shape and stuff. The design. The yeah. I like the makeup. The biology, if you will. Also, I learned that apparently dinosaurs are kind of seen as dragons in Japanese culture. Which explains why there's this huge discrepancy between Yoshi being a dragon or a dinosaur. If you ever play Super Mario World in English and Japanese, obviously in English they will say that Yoshi is a dinosaur from Dinosaur Land. But in Japanese, I believe he is referred to as a dragon. So, but the word for dinosaur, I think, has dragon in it in Japanese, so it's very interesting. Were there any mushroom dinosaurs that knew martial arts? Mushroom dinosaurs that knew martial arts. I feel like I should know this reference. Mushroom dinosaurs. Mushroom dinosaurs. Ah! 1098. 1098. Mushroom dinosaurs. Now, are we talking about Breloom? Is it a Pokemon reference specifically? Didn't Yoshi's old Final Smash also call him a dragon? I think it's because they gave him wings. Yeah, I think that was the main thing too. It's kind of like how when Ampharos got its mega form, it turned dragon type. I didn't understand the logic at first, however... Oh, it is Breloom. The Japanese name for not Breloom, for Ampharos is Dendyu, which is like Thunder Dragon, interestingly enough. So I kind of get it. So there you go. This is like the whole flying types learn heat wave because the Japanese word for it is like hot wind or something like that. The Final Smash is based off of Yoshi's effects in Super Mario World from eating different colored shells. Oh, does he stomp as well when he hits the ground? Well, I guess he never really hits the ground, does he? But that makes sense. Yeah, red shell for fire and blue shell for flying. But does that make Yoshi like a Tetsu? Or a Ryu? I wonder. Yellow shell makes him stompy, yeah. That's why I was wondering if he had a stomp effect during the Final Smash or not. But I don't think he ever lands. And Disco Shell gives him all of them, yeah. I do like the Disco, the RGB shell, yeah. It's very interesting. Breloom is one of my favorite Pokemon though. It's been a while since I've used a Breloom. I think it's Smash 4 he does Stomp. Oh, okay. I know that everyone's final smashes got mixed around a bit after Brawl. I couldn't remember though. Let's see. But yeah, that's why language learning is fun. I like learning of like lore and stuff, or why certain things are called this in certain places. Milo's gonna learn, or rather Milo's gonna love this one. Apparently there's this thing in Paper Mario Color Splash involving a dragon where the way to defeat it is to drop a pan on it. And apparently that's like a Japanese reference that's seen a lot in anime, but it doesn't really translate well outside of Japan. The basin, yeah. You saw the video too? Yeah, I did. I definitely saw it, yeah. Pringles pops up on my stuff a lot, yeah. That's how I always know when Milo is watching Pringles stuff. But then again, I also I kind of learned about the basin thing through owner once again. Fire Emblem Heroes. There's a unit who gets something called a splashy bucket. And it's like those basins. Literally hot spring basins and stuff. And the effect is that it's effective against dragons. And I'm like, what? Really? That's interesting. So, I guess I will forever know that that is a trope. So that's very interesting. I guess the only thing I don't really understand still is the Mother/Earthbound thing. I now know where I'm getting those recommendations from. Not from me. But yeah, it seems that Pringles is a Mario RPG enthusiast, so I gave up with Fire Emblem Heroes because the description started taking up the whole screen and the game is like 6 gigs now. The game has definitely gotten bigger, I think. And yes, the descriptions basically become Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Or Magic the Gathering cards. Hey, it's a good way to know if you're still, what's it called? Still fluent in English, I guess. The streams are also funny. Yeah, the streams are pretty funny. I think he was playing Dream Team yesterday. I think. So yeah. No, the biggest thing, Bob, with Heroes is just power creep after power creep, and things get confusing. But it's still an interesting game. A game where every character has voice acting now, so that's kind of cool. Hard mode, yeah. Because everyone's a masochist when it comes to video games. Have to play in hard mode. Every game is too easy, so we have to make a mod that makes it more difficult. Instead of just playing a more difficult game instead. For some reason. We crave a challenge that hurts, and I don't know why. Well, I say we, I don't really crave a challenge. I actually like simplistic stuff. I like puzzle type stuff. I like learning how things go and getting better at that, if I can. This unit gives 12 moves to their party if it's raining, plus if alone gets an attack boost of 99 billion. If being attacked, it turns into a dog that counterattacks. That description, yeah. Or like that one Sheeta alt that had like effectiveness to like a lot of different characters or different types. So it's like if Sheeta is on the field, wind. Yes, the Silk to the song. Well, is Silk Song harder than, or like a hard mode of, like a hard mode equivalent to like Hollow Knight or something, or? Because I heard that that game, it nerfed some spots, or got tweaked a little bit. I've never played it. Way harder. Wonder why. People seem to be enjoying it though. But yeah, I don't require a difficult game. Like, I know that video games aren't necessarily going to cater to me, but if I enjoyed the game for what it was, then I'm happy about it. I'm not going to go, well, I wish there was like a lunatic ultra of this, because then it would just probably frustrate me and then I'd get sad. Because that's the thing, people will go, I wanted something difficult, but I didn't want it to be like, if I didn't follow these exact steps, then I would lose immediately. But then it's like, but that is what you wanted, because you wanted it to be more difficult. You wanted it to be more of a challenge. This is to help you follow directions, I guess. But yeah, I'm not into that sort of thing. I'm into like quality of life changes and adding things like more inventory space or something, or stuff like that, or easier to like maybe level up and stuff, but not like make it where it's so difficult to where I don't want to play the game anymore. But then again, if it's a difficulty option, then it makes more sense because you don't have to play that option. I used to run Zelgius. Oh, Zelgius Hector with the swappable armor unit skill. And it was insanely good, but yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh descriptions, yeah. Sure, if a game's difficulty is the way it is without options to change it, that's how it was designed. Yeah. Yeah. I think the biggest issue, Melon, that people have gotten into or have fallen for is that if games have achievements to them, and if people are trying to 100% the game, and part of the achievement is that you have to beat something at a certain difficulty, then that's where things get bad, I think. Because people now have this mindset of, well, I have to 100% this game so that I can brag to my friends. And it's like, if I get through the story of the game and I enjoyed it, I'm good. If I want to play it some more later, then I can. I feel like a video game should be for the experience. No video game is made the same, you know, but I feel like experience should come first. But I do know that a lot of people do prefer to play video games with less story and less cutscenes. I don't know if that's because... Oh! SUIKA! Let's go! I don't know if that's because of attention span now, or if it's just, you know, people don't like story. But this is the society that we live in now. Steam's especially a culprit of it. Yeah, well, Steam and also I think what's called retro achievements now. So that's a thing too. But yeah. So I don't know. Remember guys, games are meant to be fun. They're supposed to be fun. Like, that's why we play them. If we want to do something difficult, we'd like do taxes or something. We'd balance checkbooks and take statistics classes or something. Or we'd do like a mundane task, like vacuuming every other day or mowing the lawn. Play something that's fun, you know? Live a little, have some whimsy in your life. It doesn't have to be Doom Eternal levels of hard, you know? cute sailor outfit for the watermelon? I thought it was a navy. Oh, yeah, it's a sailor outfit. It is definitely not a navy, no. Yeah, I chose the summer one for the actual fruit, but I chose the neon for the background. But yeah. Now, I'm not going to act like bragging to one's friends that they beat like a certain level or something, or they got far in a game isn't like normal. But like, if that's something that you wanted to do, then that's fine too. But I have friends who are just happy getting through the story and enjoying the story. The game doesn't have to be difficult for them to like it. Vaporwave and background, yeah. Neon is probably my favorite. It's the only other one I've changed to, I think, other than like when the Kiwi Brothers came out. I think when the Kiwi Brothers came out, that's when I started looking into the customization stuff. And I was like, why not? Because it's not expensive. And I have a choice in the matter. So I decided to get it. I'm just wondering about if they're gonna do the Halloween skin this year or not. October's almost here. You had the wild robot for a bit. That one too. That was a limited edition one. I still have not seen that movie. I've heard it was good though. Why not? Why not? What? Why not? Why? 2657. 2657. That was pretty good actually. Oh, the glowing eyes. This is really fun though. Very nice conversation today as well. But 見てくれてありがとう。聞いてくれてありがとう。Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. This was super fun today. I'm sorry that I haven't jumped on Super Paper Mario recently. I do plan on either doing it at the end of this week or the beginning of next week. I'm sorry that I'm taking so long to do it. I promise you there's no other reason other than I just need to be in the mood for it. So I do apologize for that. I still love Super Paper Mario. It is definitely one of my favorites. But I will definitely get back to that. You have my word. But definitely stay tuned for more, you know, Watermelon Wednesday and whatnot as well. I'm glad to have you guys here. It's very fun to talk to you. And the gotta follow the light book. Yeah, the light prognosticus. I think that's what it's called. Because Paper Mario is totally not Fire Emblem at all whatsoever. Especially not Super Paper Mario. But as always, I'm meloncollieflaur, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye. It's Melon.